Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jelial in this incarnation. Today, I wanted to do a reflection about unconditional love, which is, I think, one of the most misunderstood concepts on the spiritual path. I mean, let's talk about, for example, the bond between a mother and a son or a daughter. Many people say that that it is an experience. Of course, this doesn't happen in all the cases, but that many people experimented that as the bond most close to the unconditional love. What I really think is we cannot express to anybody something we didn't practice, we don't know how to practice with ourselves. But I think that many people can be closer to experiment unconditional love between through that bond. But it's very important that, for example, a mother loves unconditionally her son or her daughter, but does that mean that she won't put, for example, healthy boundaries because she loves her son, or does that mean that she won't express if his son is doing something that is not is causing harm to her or to others? I don't think so. I think part of the unconditional love bond has to do with to keep loving the other person, but we can express uncomfortable things, and we can love that person in spite of those things that maybe are things that I don't like that much. And that's, of course, practice unconditional love with ourselves. And I am saying this because with the bond of healthy boundaries, I was a babysitter once, and I was taking care of this little girl, and she had her parents didn't have much time with her because they worked a lot of hours, and it was difficult for them to put healthy boundaries because they were feeling guilty about all the hours that they were outside, and they couldn't spend it with her. And one day she wanted to eat a chocolate cookie or something like that, but she didn't want to eat her vegetables, and or I don't remember what it was, the food, but she didn't want to, but she wanted the chocolate cookie. So I said no, and she started to cry and to scream very, very loud, and I was keeping myself calm, like, I won't give you the chocolate cookie, I'm so sorry. It doesn't matter if you are screaming, I can do this. So she kept crying, and she kept crying. So when she was a little bit calmer, because she wanted to stay alone, she went to her room, and I respect the space she wanted to. So then I asked permission to enter into her room and ask her if she wanted a hug, and she said yes. And then we created the best bond ever. She took my my boundary as something very, very connected to love, not the contrary. So I'm putting this simple example because then when I wanted to pick up her from school, teachers said that she was all day talking about all the games we did, and I think we created something very, very special. But okay, what I'm trying to say with this is unconditional love has to do with put our healthy boundaries, has to do with express something that is uncomfortable, but still loving that person, for example, or still accepting the things that that person is saying to us, because maybe it's the other person who is putting the healthy boundaries or expressing uncomfortable things. And unconditional love is to accept many times that the people won't act or won't be the way we want to, but we still love them, and vice versa. And I think unconditional love, and this is something that is one of the most difficult practices, but for example, when someone is being an instrument of darkness to show us our darkness, when someone is causing, is doing something wrong to us, or something that caused harm, that person, of course, that person will have a return about their own actions, but we have to understand that that person is an instrument to show us a part of ourselves that we don't like it, or we are rejecting maybe, and that's why it is causing harm to us. And it's difficult to see that a situation like, okay, he's a creature of God, and he or she is showing me this difficult part of myself. Many times we it take years maybe when we are healing, for example, the bond with our parents, or when we had traumatic experiences. Maybe it take years to understand how that situations helped us in a way we couldn't see at that time. So the practice of unconditional love, I think it has to do with all of these things, to understand and to practice and understand that every situation is really showing us what it has to show, and that is a sign for that is a sign in a way to contact with unconditional love inside us. And as much we are connecting with that, it will show on the outside. But I think many times it's difficult to practice that, and this is the main focus of all this planetary process, But unconditional love, it's not about tolerating, it's not about not putting healthy boundaries, because I saw so many people staying, for example, in relationships that weren't something that were totally stagnant, and that the other part wasn't able to do the work, but they were still standing out for them and holding on for that relationship, even if they were drained, energetically drained, in the name of unconditional love. And that's not unconditional love, that's our wound acting. When we are not respecting ourselves, we are not acting from unconditional love. Unconditional love doesn't mean that we don't put limits. Doesn't mean we are not respecting ourselves. Doesn't mean we have to tolerate everything. Unconditional love is to still love, in spite of those things I have to do in order to love myself too. And to accept, and I think this is the most difficult part again, to accept that those people, even if they are doing something that it caused me so much disgust, for example, are a way to understand unconditional love better, how much I have to love myself in order to not experience that thing again, if something did me something wrong, because I am projecting something in that mirror, and that person is only acting as an instrument. But everything is, even the darkest parts of this world are part of God. God is everything. God is a system, is this system. So everything that is happening actually is happening for us to connect more to love. So many times it's difficult to see it that way, but I think this is the main practice we have to do. And of course, this requires compassion and patience with ourselves. We cannot be love and light and pretending we are love and light without respecting all the processes we have to do in order to forgive, for example. And I already did a video talking about forgiveness, but forgive, it's not many times it's not about keeping that relationship alive or keep talking to that person. Forgiven is simply to take the load away, and allow us to keep going and to understand that how that situation was teaching me something. So I think all of these things are the practice of unconditional love. And well, I already told you about the twin flames, but I think they are like the trainers of unconditional love many times. And because that's a relationship, for example, that we cannot stop loving those people. But many times we could experiment things that are causing pain to us. And again, I don't think we have to, because it's our twin flame, we have to let them do whatever they want. Many times it's important to put healthy boundaries, and that's unconditional love too. So I just wanted to express this reflection about this. So thank you everybody, and see you in next videos. Ciao ciao.